Hey everyone, today we're diving into something truly special and transformative. In the world of faith, there's this really big idea that makes Christianity special: grace. Grace is more than just a word. It's a powerful concept that shapes the very essence of Christian belief. It's the unmerited favor of God, a gift that we receive not because of our deeds, but because of His boundless love for us. It's way stronger than any rule, like a bright light of hope that's free for everyone. Imagine walking through a dark forest and suddenly seeing a beam of sunlight breaking through the trees. That's what grace feels like. A beacon of hope and love that guides us through the darkest times. Grace goes past any walls we build and any limits we think we have. It transcends our human flaws and failures, reaching out to us in our moments of need. It's like standing in an open field with no barriers, where the possibilities are endless and the sky is the limit. It's like an invitation to be friends with God, not because we're perfect, but because His love is huge. Grace invites us into a relationship with God, where we are accepted and loved just as we are. It's a reminder that we don't have to be flawless to be worthy of His love. This is how grace changes us. It transforms us from the inside out, much like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Grace helps us grow and bloom, becoming the best versions of ourselves. It's a gift, not because we earned it, but because we need it. Grace is given freely, without any conditions or expectations. It's like receiving a gift when you least expect it, a helping hand when you need it the most. Grace breaks down walls that separate people, welcoming everyone no matter who they are. It unites us, bringing together people from all walks of life. In a world often divided by differences, grace is the common thread that binds us together. Because of grace, we find where we truly belong, like a big family where everyone is loved by God. It's in this community of grace that we discover our true selves and our place in the world. We become part of a larger family, where love and acceptance are the foundation. So let's embrace grace in our lives. Let's allow it to guide us, transform us, and bring us closer to each other and to God. In the end, grace is the key to a life filled with love, hope, and endless possibilities. Lots of religions have strict rules, kind of like building walls and keeping people out. These walls can be physical, like the high stone walls of ancient temples, or metaphorical, representing the barriers that keep people from feeling connected to the divine. These rules and barriers can make it seem like only a select few are worthy of spiritual connection. They say you have to work really hard to follow all the rules to make God happy. This often involves rigorous rituals, endless studying, and a constant struggle to meet high standards. People find themselves climbing steep stairs, carrying heavy burdens, and feeling exhausted from trying to keep up with all the demands. It's a path filled with challenges and obstacles, making it hard to feel at peace. But Christianity is different. It's a whole new path, built with grace. Imagine walking through a serene forest, crossing a gentle stream and following a scenic trail. This path is not about the struggle to reach God through your own efforts. Instead, it's about accepting the grace that has already been given to you. It's a journey that feels natural and freeing rather than burdensome. It knows we aren't perfect and we can't reach God on our own. No matter how hard we try, our hands will always fall short of reaching the divine on our own. But that's okay. Christianity acknowledges our imperfections and offers a different way. It's about looking up with hope, knowing that we don't have to do it all by ourselves. Jesus showed us what grace is all about. Through His life and teachings, He demonstrated that God's love is unconditional. He prayed for us, sacrificed for us, and showed us the way to live a life filled with grace. The cross, glowing in the sunlight, is a symbol of this incredible gift. It's a reminder that we are loved and forgiven no matter what. Because of what Jesus did, we don't have to follow all those hard rules. The chains that once held us back are broken. We can walk freely on a clear path, unburdened by the weight of trying to earn God's favor. This freedom allows us to live more fully and joyfully, knowing that we are already accepted and loved. He showed us God's love and forgiveness. This love is not just for a select few, but for everyone. It's a love that embraces us, no matter who we are or what we've done. It's like a warm hug, a beautiful sunset, or the feeling of opening your arms wide to the world. It's a love that brings peace and joy to our lives. This makes Christianity open to everyone. It's a faith that welcomes all, regardless of background, race, or past mistakes. In a world that often divides us, Christianity brings people together. It's about community, connection, and shared joy. Whether in a park, a church, or any gathering place, the message is clear. You belong here. It welcomes you, no matter what you've done or where you are now. Whether you're standing on a mountaintop, looking out over an open field, or waving from a distance, you are invited to join this journey. It's a path of love, forgiveness, and grace, open to all who seek it. So come as you are, and experience the freedom and joy that Christianity offers. Imagine if your life was full of rules, and everything you did was checked against a list by God. That's what a religion with only laws is like, a heavy weight that can make you feel bad. These religions think you have to earn God's love by following every rule. This can make people think they're better than others. It's when we show grace that we find what's truly beautiful about faith. Religions with lots of rules can sometimes make people feel left out. Instead of welcoming everyone, they build walls and say some people are better than others. This can look like putting some people in charge or even treating some people badly. People who don't follow all the rules perfectly can feel left out and alone. It's sad because lots of religions teach us to be kind and loving. When religion feels like a bunch of rules, grace is like a bright light. It's like the sun breaking through the clouds, illuminating everything with warmth and clarity. Rules can feel heavy, like a burden we carry on our shoulders. But grace lifts that weight, making us feel light and free. It's a different way, a way to be happy with God not because we're good, but because He loves us no matter what. Imagine a group of friends laughing together in a park, or a family enjoying a picnic under a tree. These moments of joy and connection are what grace brings into our lives. It's not about earning love or approval. It's about knowing that we are loved just as we are. Grace breaks down the walls and welcomes everyone, no matter what they've done wrong. It's like a bridge that connects us, allowing us to embrace each other's differences and find common ground. When we experience grace, we see the beauty in diversity and the strength in unity. It's a powerful force that can heal wounds and mend broken relationships. Grace washes away the bad feelings and fear that come with too many rules. It's like a stream of clear water flowing through a forest, cleansing and refreshing everything in its path. When we let grace into our lives, we find peace and serenity, like sitting by a serene lakeside at sunset. The worries and anxieties that once plagued us are washed away, leaving us with a sense of calm and contentment. Grace can even change whole groups of people. It has the power to transform communities, bringing people together in ways they never thought possible. Imagine a community gathering in a town square, or a diverse crowd at a festival, all united by a shared sense of love and acceptance. Grace creates an environment where everyone feels valued and included, where differences are celebrated rather than feared. It helps us be kind, caring, and loving, and it helps us see how wonderful it is that everyone is different. When we embrace grace, we become more compassionate and understanding. We see the beauty in each person's unique story and appreciate the richness that diversity brings to our lives. Whether it's volunteers helping at a community event or people smiling and chatting at a garden party, grace fosters a spirit of generosity and goodwill. It reminds us that we are all connected and that our differences make us stronger. Some religions are just for certain groups of people, but Christianity is for everyone everywhere. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. Grace isn't a prize for special people. It's a gift for anyone who wants it, for anyone who knows they need God's love. This reminds us that even though we look different, we're all part of the same family, and we all need God. Christianity has been around for a long, long time, and its message is still important today. It talks about the things we all want, to know why we're here, what our purpose is, and to feel connected to something bigger. Even though how people practice Christianity might change, the main message stays the same. God's grace changes us. No matter where or when we live, we all wonder about life, death, and what it all means. Christianity helps us understand these things and gives us hope no matter what. Christianity is all about welcoming everyone, no matter who they are or what they've done. It believes everyone is special and important because God made us. This is different from religions with lots of rules that say some people are better than others. In Christianity, grace breaks down those walls and says everyone is welcome to experience God's love. This isn't just about letting different people in, it's about celebrating how amazing it is that we're all different. Rules can be good, but focusing only on rules can make us forget what's really important. It can make us judge others and think we're better than them, which isn't good for our hearts. When we only care about following rules, we might try to look good instead of actually being good. This can make people in a church feel scared and not trusting instead of loving and accepting. Grace is different from all those rules. It's about letting God's love change us from the inside. It's not about being perfect. It's about letting God's love work in us. Grace takes away the pressure of trying to be perfect on our own. When we understand grace, we start to see ourselves and others differently, with kindness and understanding. We realize we're all on a journey and we all make mistakes, but God still loves us. This makes us humble and thankful, and we want to show others the same kindness. When we understand grace, we start treating others differently. Instead of criticizing, we try to understand them. We remember that we're all learning and growing, and we all mess up sometimes. This doesn't mean we ignore bad things, but it means we try to be kind and understanding. Grace helps us build friendships instead of walls. Jesus showed us what grace really means. He didn't come to tell us we're bad, but to show us how to be close to God. He didn't focus on rules, but on love and understanding. Jesus spent time with people everyone else ignored. He ate with tax collectors, healed sick people, and forgave people who made mistakes. He showed us that God loves everyone, no matter what. God's grace isn't a prize, it's a gift. Jesus didn't like it when people cared more about rules than about being kind. He reminded them that what's inside our hearts is more important than what we show on the outside. Jesus showed us that God doesn't want us to follow a bunch of rules. He wants us to love Him and let that love change us. Jesus welcomed everyone, no matter who they were. He helped the poor, the sick, and the lonely. He showed everyone that God loves them no matter what. He treated women with respect, which was a big deal back then. Jesus showed us that Christianity isn't about keeping people out, but about building a loving community where everyone belongs. Christianity is special because it's not just for one time or place. It's still important today because it talks about things we all think about. What's the meaning of life? What's my purpose? Christianity helps us understand these things no matter where we come from. It started small but spread everywhere because its message of hope and forgiveness was important to everyone. Even today, Christianity gives us hope and helps us through tough times. Christianity welcomes everyone, but it also says there's one big truth. This truth is what makes it so important. It gives us something to believe in when things are confusing. This truth isn't about forcing people to believe what we believe, It's about believing that God's love, shown through Jesus, is the most important truth. This truth helps us know what's right and wrong and brings people together, reminding us that we all need God. In a world with lots of rules and judging, Christianity offers something different: grace. It welcomes everyone, not with rules but with love and forgiveness. This grace can change us, our communities, and even the world. It helps us forgive, be kind, and help others. When we understand grace, we can share it with others. We can show them hope and acceptance. God's love is for everyone, no matter who you are or what you've done. Come and experience the amazing power of grace. Friends, God has amazing things in store for you. He has a life of abundance, a life of victory waiting for you. But sometimes, to get to those promises, we have to go through some challenges. That's where our faith is tested. The Bible tells us in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." God is saying, I am right here with you. You don't have to do this alone. Maybe you're looking at a dream that seems too big. Perhaps you're facing an obstacle that feels overwhelming. He is reminding you of His constant presence. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward even when you feel afraid. Think about those words. He will never leave you nor forsake you. There's no problem so complicated that He can't see you through it. This promise is your anchor in the storm. So as we begin this journey of encouragement, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. God's promises are real. Your victory is already secured. The Israelites were standing on the edge of their promised land. After 40 long years in the wilderness, they were finally there. But between them and their inheritance stood fortified cities and fearsome enemies. The spies had come back talking about giants, warriors that made them feel like grasshoppers. Imagine the fear that must have gripped their hearts. They had seen God's miracles, the parting of the Red Sea, manna from heaven. Yet the sight of these challenges made many of them want to turn back. It's easy for us to look back and think, how could they doubt? But fear is a powerful emotion. The enemy will always try to magnify the problem to make God's promise seem small. Moses, their leader, knew they needed to hear God's reassurance. He was reminding them that their strength didn't come from their numbers or their military might. Their strength came from the Lord who had brought them this far. He wanted them to shift their focus from the terrifying giants to the all-powerful God who was on their side. This was their moment to choose faith over fear. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Their fight was not just for land. It was a fight to believe God's word over their circumstances. Just like the Israelites, each of us has a promised land. It might not be a physical territory, but it's a place of blessing, fulfillment, and purpose that God has ordained for you. It could be a dream He's put in your heart, a healthier life, a restored relationship, or a new level of influence to make a difference. God has specific plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. These are your promised lands. But often, just like the Israelites, we find that there are giants standing between us and our promises. These giants can take many forms. They can be fear, doubt, insecurity, or past failures whispering that we're not good enough. It's in these moments that we have a choice. Will we shrink back in fear like some of the Israelites wanted to do? Or will we remember God's promise? Your promised land is worth fighting for. God wouldn't have given you the dream if He hadn't already equipped you to achieve it. When the Israelites faced those terrifying enemies, some of them longed for Egypt. Can you believe it? They wanted to go back to slavery. Why? Because it was familiar. The known, even if it was miserable, seemed less scary than the unknown battle ahead. Sometimes the comfort of our old ways, our old habits, our old limitations can feel safer than stepping out in faith to fight for something better. Those familiar chains can be deceptively comforting. We all have our Egypts. It might be a negative mindset that we've grown accustomed to. It could be an unhealthy relationship that we know isn't good for us, but it's what we're used to. But God is calling you out of your Egypt. He's calling you to leave behind the limitations and step into the freedom and abundance He has for you. Section 5. He is with you, God's unfailing presence. The most powerful part of Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6 is the assurance, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. This isn't just a nice sentiment, it's a divine guarantee. In every battle, in every trial, in every moment of uncertainty, you are not alone. The Creator of the universe is by your side. He is not watching from a distance. He is actively involved, walking with you, strengthening you, and guiding you. This truth should give you incredible confidence. Think about what it means to have God with you. It means you have access to His wisdom when you don't know what to do. It means you have His strength when you feel weak. It means you have His peace when the storms of life are raging. It means you have His favor opening doors that no man can shut. When God is with you, you are in the majority, no matter how outnumbered you may feel. His presence changes everything. It turns impossible situations into opportunities for miracles. It transforms fear into faith. Trust His word more than your feelings. With Him by your side, there is nothing you cannot overcome. Section 6. Battles that build forging faith in the fire. It's natural to want a life free from problems, a smooth path to our destiny. But God often uses the challenges, the battles, to build us up. The struggles are not there to defeat us. They are there to develop us. Just as muscles grow stronger with resistance, our faith grows stronger when it's tested. When the Israelites had to fight for the promised land, they weren't just gaining territory. They were gaining a deeper reliance on God. They were learning firsthand about His power, His faithfulness, and His ability to do the impossible through them. Their faith was forged in the fire of those battles. Think about the stories in the Bible. David didn't become a hero by staying in the shepherd's field. He became a hero when he faced Goliath. Joseph wouldn't have been able to save a nation if he hadn't gone through the pit, the prison, and the betrayal. Those hardships prepared him for His purpose. God uses difficulties to stretch us, to mature us, and to reveal His strength in our weakness. Section 7. Identifying your giant's obstacles on the path to blessing. The Israelites faced literal giants, but our giants today often look different. They can be internal, like chronic fear that paralyzes you from taking a step of faith. It could be the giant of doubt, constantly whispering that you're not talented enough, not smart enough, or that God's promises aren't really for you. Perhaps it's the giant of past hurts and disappointments that keeps you from trusting again, or from believing that good things can happen. These internal giants can be just as intimidating and just as capable of keeping you out of your promised land as any physical enemy. Then there are external giants. These could be a challenging financial situation that seems impossible to overcome. It might be a health issue that drains your energy and your hope. Perhaps it's a difficult relationship at work or in your family that causes constant stress. These are the mountains that stand in your path, seemingly blocking your progress. Section 8. Pressing onward. The power of unyielding faith. Once the Israelites, under Joshua's leadership, decided to trust God and move forward, they still had to fight. The promised land wasn't handed to them on a silver platter just because they crossed the Jordan River. They had to engage the enemy, battle by battle, city by city. This teaches us a vital lesson about perseverance. Receiving God's promises often requires sustained effort and unyielding faith. It's not enough to start strong. We have to be determined to press onward even when the fight gets tough, even when we get weary. There will be times when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when the progress seems slow and the giants look even bigger up close. The enemy will try to wear you down with discouragement and setbacks. He wants you to believe that it's not worth it, that you'll never reach your promised land. But this is when your faith must be most active. This is when you have to dig your heels in and say, I will not be moved. I will not quit. God's promise is true, and I'm going to see it come to pass in my life. Unyielding faith doesn't mean you won't have doubts or fears. Section 9. Victory is your inheritance. Claiming God's promises. Friends, the message of Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6 is one of hope and victory. God doesn't lead us to the edge of our promised land only to abandon us. He has already secured your triumph. Your part is to believe it, to walk in it, and to persevere. Victory is your inheritance as a child of God. The same God who went before the Israelites is with you today. He is for you. Rise up with new strength and courage. Your future is defined by God's promises. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content.
Life can be tough. It can knock us down. It can leave us feeling lost and alone. But in those moments, faith becomes our guiding light. It's the beacon that shines through the darkest storms. I remember a story of a young woman named Sarah. She faced a devastating diagnosis: cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave her months to live, but Sarah refused to let go of her faith. She clung to it like a lifeline. Every day she would wake up and thank God for another sunrise. Her faith didn't cure her cancer, but it gave her the courage to face each day with hope and gratitude. Sarah's story reminds me of a powerful quote by Corrie ten Boom: "Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God." This is the essence of faith. It's not about having all the answers. It's about trusting in something greater than ourselves. Sarah's faith carried her through her battle with cancer, inspiring countless others. The Bible is full of wisdom for tough times, but few verses pack as much punch as James 1:2-4. Let's break it down. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. These words were written by James, the brother of Jesus. He knew a thing or two about trials. He lived in a time of persecution. Christians were facing hardships daily, yet he doesn't tell them to despair. He tells them to find joy. Not in the trials themselves, but in what they produce: perseverance. James is saying that our challenges have a purpose. They're not random acts of cruelty. They're opportunities for growth. They're chances to strengthen our faith. The resistance makes us stronger. The struggle builds our spiritual muscles. Life's trials are like a refiner's fire. They burn hot, they're uncomfortable. Sometimes they're downright painful, but they serve a purpose. They burn away the impurities. They strengthen what remains. Think of a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal must endure intense heat and repeated hammering. But the result? A blade of unmatched strength and sharpness. Our trials work in much the same way. They test us. They push us to our limits, but they also reveal our true strength. I once met a man named John. He lost his job, his savings, and his home in the span of a year. It was a crushing blow. But John didn't give up. He used this time to reassess his priorities. He discovered skills he never knew he had. John started a small business from his garage. It wasn't easy. There were days when he wanted to quit, but he persevered. Today, his business employs dozens of people. Hope is a powerful thing. It's what gets us out of bed on the hardest days. It's what keeps us going when everything seems lost. And here's the beautiful truth: hope can't be taken from us. It's not something that others can steal or destroy. Hope is a choice we make. It's a gift we give ourselves. No matter how dire our circumstances, we always have the power to choose hope. It's like a candle in a dark room. The darkness can't snuff it out. Only we can decide to extinguish that flame. This is why hope is so powerful. It's immutable. It's unchangeable. As long as we hold on to it, it remains. No matter what trials we face, we can choose hope. We can choose to believe that better days are coming. And as long as we make that choice, hope remains. Abandoning hope is a dangerous thing. It's like turning off the lights in a dark cave. Without hope, we lose our way. We stumble, we fall, and getting back up becomes harder and harder. I've seen it happen. People who give up hope often spiral into despair. They lose their sense of purpose. They forget their own strength. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Elijah. He was a great prophet. He had performed miracles, but after a particularly tough battle, he lost hope. He ran into the desert. He asked God to take his life. He had forgotten his own strength. He had forgotten God's faithfulness. And in that moment of hopelessness, he was at his weakest. But God didn't abandon Elijah. He sent an angel to care for him. He reminded Elijah of his presence. And slowly, Elijah's hope was rekindled. This story shows us the danger of abandoning hope. It leaves us vulnerable. In times of trial, it's easy to feel alone. But we're not meant to face our challenges in isolation. We're created for community. We're designed to lean on each other. And most importantly, we're invited to lean on God. This is where prayer and community come in. They're lifelines in the storm. They're reminders that we're not alone. Prayer is a powerful tool. It's our direct line to God. When we pray, we're not just talking to the air. We're communicating with the creator of the universe, the one who knows us better than we know ourselves. Prayer doesn't always change our circumstances, but it always changes us. It gives us peace. It renews our strength. It reminds us of God's presence in our lives. Community is equally important. We need people who can support us, encourage us, and sometimes just sit with us in our pain. I think of the story of Job. When he lost everything, his friends came and sat with him for 7 days. They didn't say a word. They just provided presence. That's the power of community. It reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles. So, if you're facing trials, don't face them alone. Reach out in prayer. Pour out your heart to God. One of the most powerful truths in the Bible is that God is always with us. He's not a distant deity watching from afar. He's right here, in every moment, in our joys and in our sorrows, in our triumphs and in our trials. Remembering this can change everything. It can turn our perspective upside down. It can give us strength we didn't know we had. Think about it. The creator of the universe, the one who hung the stars in the sky, is with you right now. He's with you when you wake up in the morning. He's with you as you face your challenges. He's with you when you lie down at night. This isn't just a nice thought, it's a promise from God himself. In Matthew 28 verse 20, Jesus says, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." But how do we remember this truth in the midst of our trials? It takes practice. It takes intentionality. We can start by looking for God in the little things, in the kindness of a stranger, in the beauty of nature, in the love of family and friends. These are all reminders of God's presence and love. We can also cultivate habits that help us remember God's presence. Trials are never easy, they're not meant to be, but they can be incredibly valuable. They're like a refiner's fire, burning away the impurities and leaving behind something precious. This is what James meant when he talked about trials producing perseverance. He understood that challenges, when faced with faith, can lead to tremendous growth. Think of a diamond. It starts as a lump of coal. It's only through intense pressure and heat that it becomes something valuable. Our trials work in much the same way. They put pressure on us. They heat up our lives. But if we hold on to our faith, if we persevere, we can emerge as something beautiful and valuable. I once met a woman named Maria. She had lost her husband to cancer. It was devastating. For months, she could barely function. But slowly, with the help of her faith and her community, she began to heal. She started a support group for other widows. She found purpose in her pain. Today, she says that while she would never have chosen this path, she's grateful for the person she's become through it. This is the power of embracing growth through challenges. Life can often feel like a stormy sea. The waves crash, the wind howls. It's easy to feel tossed about, with no sense of direction or stability. But faith gives us an anchor. It keeps us grounded when everything else is in chaos. It gives us a fixed point to orient ourselves, no matter how rough the waters get. This anchor of faith isn't about having all the answers. It's not about understanding why we're going through what we're going through. It's about trusting in something bigger than ourselves. It's about believing that there's a purpose, even when we can't see it. It's about holding on to hope, even when everything seems hopeless. I'm reminded of the story of Peter walking on water. When he kept his eyes on Jesus, he could do the impossible. He could walk on the stormy sea, but the moment he looked at the waves, he began to sink. Our faith works in much the same way. When we keep our focus on God, we can weather any storm. We can walk through impossible situations. Being anchored in faith doesn't mean the storms won't come. Perseverance isn't a one-time act. It's a daily choice. It's choosing to take one more step when you feel like you can't go on. It's choosing to get up one more time when you've been knocked down. It's a journey of 1,000 steps, each one a testament to your faith and determination. I think of the story of the Israelites in the desert. Their journey to the Promised Land wasn't easy. It was filled with hardships. There were times when they wanted to give up, times when they longed for the familiarity of Egypt, even though it meant slavery. But they kept going, one step at a time, one day at a time, and eventually, they reached their destination. Our journeys often look similar. We may not be wandering in a physical desert, but we all face our own wildernesses, times of uncertainty, times of hardship, times when the destination seems impossibly far away. But like the Israelites, we're called to keep moving forward, to take one more step, to trust that each step is bringing us closer to where we need to be. As we come to the end of our exploration of James 1 verses 2-4, let's remember the core message. Our trials have purpose. They shape us into who we are meant to be.
In the tapestry of life, faith stands as a vibrant thread connecting us to something far greater than ourselves. It is the unseen force that gives us hope in times of despair, courage in moments of fear, and strength when we feel weak. Faith is the light that guides us through the darkest of times, illuminating our path and giving us a sense of purpose and direction. James, in his letter, challenges us to examine the true nature of faith. He asks us to look beyond the surface and delve into the depths of what it truly means to believe. Faith, according to James, is not just a matter of intellectual assent or verbal affirmation. It is something much deeper, something that must be lived out in our daily lives. He presents a powerful message in James chapter 2, verses 14 to 26, urging us to move beyond mere words and embrace a faith that manifests in action. This passage is a clarion call to all believers, reminding us that faith without works is dead. It is not enough to simply profess our faith. We must also demonstrate it through our actions. This passage serves as a compass, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of how faith should shape our lives. Just as a compass points us in the right direction, so too does this passage point us towards a life of active, living faith. It challenges us to align our actions with our beliefs, to ensure that our faith is not just something we talk about, but something we live out every day. James's words resonate with a timeless truth. True faith is not passive. It is not something that we can simply sit back and observe from a distance. True faith requires us to get involved, to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. It calls us to step out of our comfort zones and make a difference in the lives of others. It is not a spectator sport observed from a distance. Instead, it is a call to action, an invitation to participate in the extraordinary dance between belief and behavior. Faith is something that must be lived out in the real world, in the midst of our everyday lives. It is not something that we can keep to ourselves. It must be shared with others. Instead, it is a call to action, an invitation to participate in the extraordinary dance between belief and behavior. It is a dynamic, living force that compels us to reach out to others, to lend a helping hand, and to make a positive impact in the world. Faith is not just about what we believe, it is about what we do with those beliefs. James reminds us that our faith, if genuine, will inevitably overflow into our actions, shaping the way we interact with the world around us. It will inspire us to be more compassionate, more generous, and more loving. It will drive us to seek justice, to stand up for the oppressed, and to work towards a better, more just world. In the end, true faith is not just about what we believe. It is about how we live out those beliefs in our everyday lives. Imagine encountering someone who claims to possess immense wealth but lives in abject poverty. They speak of grand estates, luxurious cars, and endless riches, yet their reality is starkly different. Their words would ring hollow, echoing the emptiness of their promises. Their claims are undermined by the stark reality of their situation, a life that contradicts their grandiose statements. James draws a parallel to this scenario when discussing faith and actions. He emphasizes that faith, when not accompanied by deeds, is like a wealthy person dressed in rags. He argues that faith, devoid of corresponding deeds, is as lifeless as a body without breath. It is a mere shadow of what it could be, lacking the essence that gives it life. Just as a tree is known by its fruit, so too is faith revealed through action. Words alone are insufficient. A tree that bears no fruit is of no use to anyone, just as faith without works is barren. They are but empty shells, devoid of substance, if not accompanied by genuine acts of love, compassion, and service. These empty shells, though beautiful on the outside, hold no life within. James challenges us to consider whether our faith is merely a collection of beliefs or a vibrant force that propels us towards righteous living. He urges us to transform our faith into action, to let it be the driving force behind our deeds. True faith is active and dynamic, manifesting in our daily lives through acts of kindness, generosity, and service to others. It's not enough to simply believe, we must also do. Our faith should inspire us to reach out to those in need, to offer a helping hand, and to make a positive impact in the world around us. It is through these actions that our faith is truly brought to life. Let us strive to ensure that our faith is not just a set of beliefs, but a living, breathing force that drives us to make a difference. In doing so, we honor the true essence of faith as envisioned by James. Some might argue that actions alone are enough to secure salvation. They might point to a life filled with good deeds and charitable acts as evidence of their righteousness. However, James cautions against such a simplistic view. He reminds us that even demons acknowledge the existence of God, yet their belief does not translate into salvation. Salvation, James emphasizes, is not a reward for good behavior. It is not something we earn through our own efforts. Instead, it is a gift from God received through faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. Our actions, while important, cannot, in and of themselves, bridge the chasm between us and God. To illustrate the inseparable link between faith and action, James points to the example of Abraham. Considered the father of faith, Abraham's life was a testament to the transformative power of belief. When God commanded him to sacrifice his son Isaac, Abraham, though heartbroken, obeyed. Abraham's willingness to offer up his son, the son of promise, was not an act of blind obedience. It was a profound demonstration of his unwavering faith in God's goodness and provision. Through this act of obedience, Abraham's faith was made complete, proving the authenticity of his belief. Section 5. Rahab's Courage, a Testimony of Trust. Another compelling example James presents is that of Rahab, a prostitute from Jericho. Despite her past and the societal norms of her time, Rahab demonstrated remarkable faith by sheltering the Israelite spies. She recognized the sovereignty of the God of Israel and aligned herself with his plan. Rahab's actions, driven by her newfound faith, put her at great personal risk, yet she chose to act courageously, trusting in the God who had promised deliverance to the Israelites. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that true faith transcends social barriers and empowers us to act boldly in the face of adversity. Section 6, Beyond Words, Faith Manifested in Deeds. Throughout James's letter, a recurring theme emerges. True faith is not merely a matter of intellectual assent, but a lived-out reality. It is a force that compels us to extend a helping hand to those in need, to speak up against injustice, and to be ambassadors of God's love in a world often shrouded in darkness. Imagine encountering someone shivering in the cold. Offering them words of comfort without providing warmth would be a hollow gesture. Similarly, our faith, if genuine, should move us beyond empty platitudes to tangible acts of kindness and compassion. Section 7, The Rhythm of Faith, a Constant Dance. The relationship between faith and action is not a one-time event, but an ongoing dance. It is a dynamic interplay between belief and behavior, a continuous cycle of trusting and acting. Our faith, nurtured by God's word and prayer, should inspire us to live lives characterized by love, service, and integrity. Just as a dancer moves gracefully across the floor, so too should our lives reflect the rhythm of faith. Each step, each action should be an expression of our deep-seated belief in God's goodness and our desire to walk in obedience to His will. Section 8. A life transformed, the fruit of active faith. When faith is put into action, it has the power to transform not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Acts of kindness, however small, can have a ripple effect, spreading outwards and touching countless lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. As we strive to live out our faith, we become vessels of God's love, hope, and grace. Our actions become testaments to the transformative power of belief, inspiring others to seek a deeper relationship with the divine. Section 9, a call to reflection, examining our own actions. James's words serve as a call to self-reflection. He challenges us to examine our own lives and consider whether our actions align with our professed beliefs. Are we living out our faith in tangible ways, or are we content with a faith that remains confined to the realm of thoughts and words? This is not a call to judgment, but an invitation to growth. It is an opportunity to identify areas where our actions fall short of our beliefs and to seek God's guidance as we strive to live lives that are pleasing to Him. Section 10. Conclusion. Embracing faith in action. In the grand tapestry of life, faith and action are intricately interwoven, each strand dependent on the other for strength and beauty. Just as threads in a fabric rely on each other to create a cohesive and resilient piece, our faith and actions must work in harmony to create a life of purpose and impact. James's message is clear. True faith is not passive but active. It is not enough to simply believe. Our beliefs must be demonstrated through our actions. This active faith is what brings about real change in our lives and in the lives of those around us. It is a force that propels us to love deeply, serve faithfully, and live lives that reflect the transformative power of the gospel. When we care for others, we are not just performing good deeds, we are embodying the very essence of our faith, showing the world the love and compassion that Jesus taught. As we journey through life, let us embrace the challenge to live out our faith in practical and meaningful ways, remembering that our actions speak volumes about the authenticity of our beliefs. Each act of kindness, each moment of service is a testament to our commitment to living a life that mirrors the teachings of Christ. Our faith is not confined to the walls of a church, but is expressed in our everyday interactions and decisions. Whether we are helping a neighbor, volunteering our time, or simply offering a listening ear, we are living out our faith in tangible ways. May our lives become testaments to the power of faith in action, illuminating the world with the love and hope of Jesus Christ. Let us strive to be beacons of light, guiding others towards a life of faith, love, and service.